coming alongside these releases is the new Eldari Codex as well, and it's a bit of an overhaul for the Eldari here. Now, we expect new rules and detachments and things as we were before, and new lore and everything else you'd expect to see in the book there. But there's a couple of things that's worth pointing out here. First of all, the Strands of Fate rule they had before has been replaced with a rule called Battle Focus. The Strands of Fate rule they had before has been replaced with a rule called Battle Focus.
The feeling of vindication. Greetings to the 23.8 thousand Grimdark enjoyers of my channel, and a friendly hello to the over 70% who haven't subscribed. Guys, that's a big problem.
That is a huge problem.
So you think he has a bigger problem?
I think he's got a huge problem.
But today I don't wish to talk about problems. Perhaps it's time for a more positive video, to balance out the salt with a bit of sweet. Earlier today, GW finished their World Championships preview. In it, they previewed a bunch of stuff which I mostly don't care to speak on. But wowee, the Eldar preview at the end is something I do feel merits a reaction of sorts. As channel fans will know, the Phoenix Forest project is a path I have embarked on. So let's give the community article a gander. Here we are on the Warhammer community site. First up, we're looking at the fire dragons. They look pretty good, at least from what I can tell. Look at all of this side shit, all of these overlapping links. This is just the best website. Anyways, we can see some new weapon options here on the Exarchs, which is pretty cool, and the built-in back banner, which is always the right choice. And you know, selfishly, I am quite pleased that overall I don't need to purchase any of these kits, as my Phoenix Force project acquisition from Artel seems to be right in line. Though, I am jealous of these little aspect totems. Do they have a functional use? I think they should, but probably not. Regardless, I think they're neat. Next, we got some nice pics of new Osserman. He looks great. Speaking personally, I'm very happy to see him on a 40mm base, as that is what I chose to base my Artel Counts as Osserman on. So you know, he'd be in line with his Phoenix Lord brothers and sisters. But after GW decided that Terminator captains should be bumped up to 50mm bases in 10th edition, I thought there was a real possibility we'd see Osserman pushed up as well, since he is the big cheese. Following that, we have new Baharoth and Swooping Hawks. Quite the glow up here. While I don't love Baharoth's pose, the sculpt overall feels right in line with the other Phoenix Lords. And the Swooping Hawks are looking sharp as well, sporting a much toned down, darker armor color, which is interesting. Honestly, I think I prefer it, as I think it will be a more practical aesthetic to emulate on my own Swooping Hawks. Which brings us to what is the biggest surprise of the preview for me, the Warp Spider's Phoenix Lord. GW's gone and bloody done it. Good shit. Praise where it's due. You know, when I picked up my Spectral Spinner Prime from Artel, I figured it would forever be a display model, or one I would have to ham-fist house rule in. And so after laboriously painting this model, I'm pumped there is an easy avenue for fielding it on the tabletop. On the personal hobby journey side of things, I am very pleased they confirmed Lycus, which is the name of the Warp Spider's Phoenix Lord, to be a female, as that's the torso option I chose for my Spectral Spinner Prime. But sadly, the color scheme I went with doesn't fit. How was I to know? Regardless, it is a big sad, as my aim was to have my Phoenix Lords match the official schemes. But I'll take the wins where I can get them. And under her, we got some shots of the new Warp Spiders. Odd sequence, but it is what it is, I suppose. These Warp Spiders are looking pretty sharp. I think the Exarch options are particularly neat. You can choose to max out all Death Spinners or all Swords, or the classic balanced approach. I also think their Totem Shrine is very cool. Definitely gives me those creepy vibes that you would associate with the Warp Spiders aspect. Which brings us to the Codex itself, which as shown in the meme opener, was revealed with a rather big implication. The Eldar army rule is changing from Strands of Fate, the Fate dice system, to Battle Focus, the details of which we don't know, but will be one focused on mobility. And as someone who claimed this is how it ought to be many moons ago, well, let's just say it feels rather vindicating. Battle Focus is just a fundamentally better choice. And without getting into a full-on rules evaluation, Battle Focus puts the Eldar's superlative mobility front and center, featuring their trans-like battle state, which is one of the signature features which makes the Eldar so unnerving and so alien, which I believe to be a flatly stronger characterization for the faction. We can also consider the current lay of the land here. With Strands of Fate receiving so many functional nerfs over the course of 10th edition, much of the play has been lost from its gameplay, resulting in a system which is much less exciting, less engaging, more boring. And we already have an army characterized by a dice swapping rule in the Sisters of Battle. Though I'd make the argument that dice swapping is a poor mechanical abstraction for both fate reading and miracle making, but I digress. My point is, I am all for Battle Focus, and I like a lot of this Eldar preview. GW unveiling the remaining Phoenix Lords like this is something I think deserves some credit, as I figured they would drip feed Phoenix Lords and Aspect Warriors for many editions to come, dangling those keys, feeding off those member berries, etc., etc., i.e. the Primarch model. Though I guess the jury is still out on Karandras. That's a wrap on this Eldar preview from the Warhammer World Championships preview. If you enjoyed this video, there are buttons for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And special thanks to Julius Maximus, as well as my other generous patrons and channel members. Channel members and patrons get early access to channel videos. Just a little something for those who help keep the dream alive. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.